Earlier today, France released their squad to play in the November tests, and my word, they are so young. Kudos to Fabien Galthié because he's really putting his neck on the line here. He's playing a very, very young squad. He's going to be giving a lot of talent, a lot of young talent time on the field. And when you have games like South Africa, it is always going to be a difficult test. But in terms of World Rugby, France is probably one of the only teams that has about as much depth as South Africa do. And from this, it's quite evident why. They are giving a lot of youngsters time on the field, and I think we are going to be seeing a lot of time. Another thing for Fabien Galthié, it seems like he is going for a lot of youth, and he's going for informed players, right? Looking at the top 14, teams like Bayonne have absolutely been killing it. So we are seeing a good amount of players from Bayonne in the squad, and obviously all the big hitters. But Fabien Galthié is really putting his neck out on the line here for this. So I want to get into this. I want to get into the squad, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's get into it. So France here have really gone out on a limb. They are going to be playing a lot of, there's a lot of youngsters here. I think the average age for the players for the squad is 25 years old. So that kind of shows the depth. And I think, like, in terms of South Africa, I think their average age is around 29, 30 years old. But my word, what a squad. We are seeing players like Maximin Kapia, who can absolutely kill it. They've been playing very, very well. You have Gael Drian, who's been scoring left, right, and center. This guy, he's like another BLBRA. The guy's been scoring like there's no tomorrow. Calvin Gorges Gorges. I never get this guy's pronunciation. He absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it for Toulouse, and he is playing really, really well. But then you have Grandidier Nkanang as well, who is a very, very big winger. I believe he's a winger. I think he's around 6'2" as well. The guy is an absolute monster, and he's very tall. He's very tall, very good in the air. So a very, very good target to have. But then you look at players like Mikhail Guillard, who's been very evident in the France squad of late. I mean, whether it's the Six Nations playing as lock, or in the New Zealand test, he was playing as a back row. So there's a lot there. You have Barnaby Massa, obviously Jimmy Maximin, who is an absolute monster. They found another huge lock. I mean, it was like 6'9". The guy is absolutely ridiculous. And then you still have players like Taufi Fenua. Cameron Woki is an absolute monster as well. So you can never doubt Cameron Woki. He's been playing a lot. He's been playing pretty well. And he's just one of these players that are going to get better. He's big, he's strong, he's agile. He's got everything you could potentially want. But then you have the likes of Aldegheri, you have the likes of Ouradou, Boudahan, Thibaut Flamand. I mean, Thibaut Flamand is just an absolute monster. The guy is ridiculous. He is absolutely ridiculous. One of the most agile locks that you're gonna find. The guy, he's an absolutely scary monster. But yeah, they have the likes of Gross as well, who is an absolute beast. As a tight, the guy is an absolute monster. Laclaye, Julien Marchand. Julien Marchand is more than likely going to end up starting up against South Africa. And then you have Manny Miafao, who again probably going to end up starting as well. But the depth that they have here and the youngsters that they do have, I mean, we got to take in consideration they are missing quite a few players. Now, the biggest one on this list, well, there's two really, really big ones. One is Antoine Dupont. He's not ready. I was kind of hoping that he would be ready and fit in time. He's not. They want to rest their star boy. So whether he comes in as a late addition, I don't know. But he is not playing here. We're more than likely only going to end up seeing him in the next year. But the other one is Tomo Ramos. Not seeing Tomo Ramos in a squad it kind of seems like blasphemy. The guy, he's just everywhere. He does everything, and he's one of those players that he's always going to be the first name on the sheet. Now, I think the only reason he's not here is because he's going to be a dad. So I think his partner is going to be giving birth, so he is out from here. He probably will end up joining in the squad later on. But what does this do? This gives Leo Barret, who I'm pretty certain is going to end up starting while Tomo Ramos is away, is going to give him a little bit of time to get that extra game time, right? Because under Tomo Ramos, you know he's not going to be getting game time. But Leo Barret is such a monster. He's so talented. He's quick. He's got everything you could potentially want. So I'm more than likely going to end up seeing, well, we're more than likely going to end up seeing Leo Barret filling in Tomo Ramos's spot. But even then, they have Tiberien, who's, playing so well as well. But, they have these little bits of experience. They have their age players, but then they also, putting in those youngsters. I mean, you have someone like Gael Ficou, who is... The guy's ridiculous. So he's more than likely going to end up starting at 12. Barassi, he's probably going to be starting at 13. They're going to want to have that core of the squad to be, to be that experience, to have, to have that experience. They aren't going to be wanting to trust, some youngsters in the middle of the park. That's where they're going to have the wings. That's where they're going to have those backs. They're going to have, those other players littered in and behind. But the real engine of the squad, we're more than likely going to see Maxime Lecou, and we are going to see Jalibert as the 9 and the 10 controlling the game. Lecou, he's just, everybody thought once Dupont got injured in the Six Nations that things are going to go wrong. They couldn't be more wrong, because Maxime Lecou played his absolute socks off. And whether he's playing for Bordeaux, whether he's playing for France, the guy, he's everywhere. He's, at times all you see is his shiny head. The guy is ridiculous. And yeah, he's gotten on in his years, but he's not playing like it. The guy, he's just so good. But yeah, we're more than likely going to end up seeing Maxime Lecou, and we're going to see Jalibert as the pair. Obviously, we cannot take away Romain Ntamak. There's every chance that he's going to be fighting Jalibert. Personally, I just feel Jalibert will probably fit a little bit better with Maxime Lecou than Ntamak, but he's always a very, very good option to have. And then, you got Emilien Gaetan, you got Deporter, you got Bialbiere, you've got, Joris Segon, like, I can't remember what game it was. I think it was, it wasn't last week. I think it was the week before. Just complete control. The guy, he's just controlling the park. He's just like everything you could potentially want, and he's still got so much more to improve and to be better. So they've got so much talent here. So much talent. You got to think the ages of these players. They are so young. Even Bialbiere, who feels like he's been around forever, and he's breaking try scoring records left, right, and center. The guy cannot stop. He's 22 years old. Even Damien Penaud, he's going to be 26, 27 years old. So these players, they still either in their prime or getting into their prime. It is scary, just how good a lot of these players are. So, when you look at this core of the squad, right, you're going to have Jalon. You're going to have someone like Miafal. You're going to have someone like Boudahan. You're going to have someone like Gregory Aldred. A lot of them are in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s, just perfect amount of experience. You have a general in Maxime Lecou who's going to control the field at the 9. You have Jalibert, who I think is around 27, 28-ish, moving the ball around. And even then, Romain Ntamak, I think he's even younger, and he can move that ball so quickly as well. So there isn't really a struggle. For these positions, and then they have someone like Gael Ficou, who's in his 30s, but he's just an absolute general as well. And he ended up captaining the France side, who went to New Zealand. And then Barassi as well, just absolute pocket rocket. The guy, he's so good. So they've got this brilliant balance of youngsters. They got experience, they've got just that pure fire, and they are going to be a very, very difficult team to break down. And take in consideration, there's no Moefana, there's no Mauvaka, there's no Crow, there's no Dupont, There's no Ramos right now. He probably will end up getting time later. There is no Winnie Antonio, and there is no Ciro Baye. All of these players are starting players. Like, they are all starting players. So if you're going to look at a top, if this was a final, like a World Cup final, right? I guarantee you all of these players would be here, bar maybe Winnie Antonio and Ciro Baye, who would more than likely end up being on the bench. They're going to be in the 23 anyway, but more than likely they're going to end up being on the bench. Scary. And then you still have the likes of Dreen and, Leo Barre, who's, they are so good. They are so young. They've got so much talent. Like, they have so much talent. It's scary. It really, really is scary. And I think someone like Maximin, if he's given time, the form that he's been in, he's so good. He's like he's almost like 7 foot tall, and he's a general as well. He's not about to take, any S from anybody. So it's going to be lovely to see that how they're going to flip this, because France have a lot of difficult tests here. They got a lot of difficult tests. What they're going to end up playing for France, for South Africa, I don't know. But we're more than likely going to end up... I think the players that are pretty much guaranteed to start for up against South Africa is going to be Boudahan, is going to be Gelant, is going to be Aldrit. That's 6, 7, 8. Maxime Lucu, I think he's bang on starter for there. The 10, we could easily see Intermac or Jalibert as that 10, but that's here and there. And then Gael Ficou and Barassi, I'm pretty certain we're going to see starting, along with Damien Penaud and Biel Biarré. So these are the players that I'm set that they are going to start. And more than likely, Julien Marchand. Julien Marchand as well, he's probably going to end up starting because of Moevaka. But yeah, scary. And they still have Guillot, who's he's making waves. He's only getting better. He's such an agile forward. Like I say, he can play he can play the back row. He can play the lock. You have, even Taufi Fanua as well. Taufi Fanua this guy's built out of bricks. So, wow. This is a scary, scary squad. Even Oscar Jegu as well. Scary squad. So I cannot wait to see how they're going to line up, because whatever they play, it's going to be scary. You're going to be finding a lot of quick ball, and they're going to be a tough task for South Africa. I'll tell you this now. So very, very tough task. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Who is in your starting 23 for the first test, and who do you think should make it? Well, who deserves to be there and hasn't made it? All right, because it seems France have gone for a informed squad. All right, they're not necessarily going with youth or elite. They're going for the players that are in form, right? There's a lot of power. There's a lot of there's power. There's Bayonne. Obviously, you got to have Toulouse. You got to have Toulon. Bordeaux. So they have a lot of talent here. I'm telling you this now. This is gonna be scary. Just imagine these players for the 2027 World Cup. Given time, given experience, these players for the 2027 World Cup, Damien Penaud would be 28, 29 years old. Biel Biarré will be 24 years old. Think about that. Biel Biarré, who's killing it everywhere, he's going to be 24 years old by the next World Cup. Scary. I'm telling you, scary. And even these forwards, they're just getting better, bigger, stronger. And then they're finding players like Maximin coming through the cracks. And it's scary. So guys, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.